Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where I'll be showing you a range of things to do with my Crested Gecko Lyra and my Chahoua Drago. But first I want to give a big shout out to the patrons of this channel: Nathan, Leon, Laura, Jezebel, Reepesh, Kathy, April, Karen, Sarah, Sabrina, Tracy, Kim, Ojao, and everyone else over on Patreon for supporting this channel. It really means a lot. I know YouTube have been doing this membership thing, but I already have a Patreon, so I don't know really have to do that. But if you do want to support the channel, you can over there. It means so much. So thank you to everyone who supports me over there. And talking of supporting this channel, a viewer of this channel, Brian from Digitally Sinful on Etsy, actually reached out to me and sent me a box of gifts for my Crested Gecko and Chahoua, which you guys may find interesting, but we'll keep that for a little bit. I'll show you what's inside in a bit. First, I wanted to show you some future tank decorations I bought recently. So in the future, I do hope to move to my own place and have a reptile room, basically just like a bedroom for my geckos. And I would love to expand some of the tanks, and of course there may be some future geckos joining our family. You know, not right now, but in the future. So if I see anything fairly cheap, I'm kind of stocking up on it now, like this branch that I'm holding. So I saw this the other day. It was $7.99, which from what I've seen in multiple different shops, that's actually fairly cheap. A lot of the times you get like a cork branch, and if it's pretty big, it's fairly expensive. However, this is really heavy, and it's got some nice, what I think is reindeer moss on it. I may be mistaken. Sometimes when you spray this stuff, it comes back alive. But it's heavy, it's sturdy, it's very big. So I think this would be ideal in a future arboreal gecko tank. I also got this. This is known as a coconut flower, I believe. Once again, it's for a future tank, probably one of the Leopard Gecko tanks. I do eventually want to get them even bigger ones and maybe do a bioactive tank, but this will look really cool. Then, okay, oh my god. So basically, when I was buying this coconut flower, I was also buying insects, and on the website, they'd also had these half coconuts for sale for 50p. This is on Internet Reptile. So I've had these half coconuts before from a different place, so they come with a husk on them. I use them in the backgrounds, and I thought, well, they can be used in the backgrounds of future tanks. I can even give some of my isopods a little house, a little coconut house. And then a really big box came to my house, and I was slightly worried because they're massive. Yeah, they're not the size I've had before, but for 50p, yeah. So, of course, I didn't buy just the one. No, I bought 3. So now I have like 1.5 full coconuts in my house. I'm going to have to find a decent storage place for them. But you never know. We may see these in future designs. Now onto this box of treats. Well, these are all actually ledges for the geckos. So we'll start off with the ones with suction cups. We have this nice double one with sort of a cork bark print. I will say the suction cups on this are like nice and big, because sometimes you can get the small flimsy ones and they just don't last as long, so that's good to have. And then we have this big triangular shaped one, and as you can see, when you actually mount it on the glass, it's at an angle, which is quite cool, and technically your gecko can hide behind it too. On Brian's Etsy page, I did see that you can have a range of designs. I believe some of them you can actually have custom made, which is pretty cool. Then we have some magnetic ledges. This one, to me, looks like a bath bomb. The texture and colour of it really reminds me of a bath bomb, but it's not. It's very robust. It's I'm actually not 100% sure what it's made of, but I like that there is a dish on there, there's a ledge, so the gecko can sort of sit on there and eat and not hopefully walk through their food. That would be annoying. Then we have this rocky looking one. It has 2 feeding areas. I may actually use this in Drago's tank, because he will actually drink standing water. He will drink droplets off the side of the tank and off leaves, but he will just sit there and drink standing water, so that could be interesting. I may use that. Also, by the way, the magnets on these things are super strong, so beware when you're like mounting them onto your tank. But you know, it's good because it will support their weight. And finally, we have this one. Now, you may think, oh, that's just a piece of cork, but it actually isn't. It's not even cork. I'm pretty sure it's made out of the same stuff the last 2 are made out of, but it looks really realistic, and it's magnetic, which is actually really handy because if you want to add a higher platform in your tank, but you don't have like a built-in background like I have, then this could work really well. I may use it in one of my current tanks, or I may save it. As I've said previously, I really want a gargoyle or a lychee in the future, we'll see. So no doubt I will be using these for a long time. So once again, thank you to Brian. I will link his Etsy store below. And the final thing I have to show you is I finally got the Fig and Insect diet by Pangea. I believe this is one of their newer diets. I was umming and ahhing about buying it, so I did a little poll over on Instagram. It seems like your geckos really like it too. So I first tried it with Drago, and this was his first impression of it. I was happy to see that like straight away he kind of flicked his tongue, he picked up on the scent, he seemed very interested, and I mean, I was holding the dish and trying to hold the camera, so it's a little bit shaky, but like I could have stood there all day and he would have just kept eating it. Lyra was a little more excited, but weirdly after she did this, she didn't really eat much more of it. But if you see my review on the Pangea diets, you'll know that first impressions aren't everything. Sometimes it takes a while for a gecko to get used to a new flavour. I like to offer a different flavour each feeding and reintroduce ones they weren't overly keen on. But evidently, diets with insects in don't seem to be Lyra's favourite, so maybe that's why she wasn't overly keen on this. As for how the geckos are doing, well right now as I film it is daytime, so they're going to be asleep, but we can go and see if we can find them. So Lyra is in her coconut just here. You can see that filming in the day isn't always practical with geckos because they do need to sleep, so I'll leave her here. Also, if anyone knows how to fix this thing, I have to put a bit of bamboo just to hold this together, but that completely gone. In the daytime, Drago is usually sleeping here. I think you can see his eye. Might be quite dark. He is now just slowly moving away, and my camera, this camera is awful at just focusing on whatever it wants to focus on, but you can kind of see his eye. I will do a video in the near future of kind of like tank tours where I go into each tank, look at their setup, what I like, what I'd change, and some tips along the way, so you will see more of Lyra and Drago's tanks in that video. I would absolutely love to do more Crested Gecko and Chahoua videos. The sad thing is, if I put Chahoua in the title or Drago in the thumbnail, those videos just don't do as well. And it's such a shame because I know not many people have Chahuas. Everyone knows of a cresty, lychee, gargoyle, but Chahuas kind of get lost in that. I've heard that in America they're quite expensive, so a lot of people just don't have them. But if you do have one, I think you'd know they're just like little puppy dogs. Like I'll go up to my room in the evening and he'll be in his tank. When he sees me or my boyfriend, he'll just run up to the glass. Like he's bursting with personality, but unfortunately when it comes to making Chahoua videos, people just, they don't give it a chance. So if you do see a video with him in, give it a chance because he's such a lovely gecko. And so is Lyra, of course, but you already knew that. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Once again, thank you to Brian from Digitally Sinful on Etsy for these wonderful ledgers. I will leave his link below. But yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I upload a new video every 4 days. But thank you for watching and goodbye.